like to apologize for the audio problems as we resume play, getting ready to resume play here at Notre Dame Stadium. The second weather delay, first and only weather delays in Notre Dame history, as South Florida has a 23-13 lead. They're going to resume play here in just a few minutes with 4:21 left on the clock, and Notre Dame from its own 13 faced with a 2nd down and 6. The 16th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish on the verge of being beaten here by Skip Holtz. And let's give you an idea of what happened in the second half. And it looked good for Notre Dame with the quarterback change, Mike, as Tommy Rees came in and found Michael Floyd alive.
Yeah, it was 16-0 at half. Michael Floyd has 11 catches for 146 yards. Tommy Rees, I think, has done a great job. Now, that interception there was key. That went off T.J. Jones' shoulder pads, not Rees's fault. Great stick throw to Tyler Eifert right there. Gets the ball down the field in the key 3rd down situation. Michael Floyd for a touchdown.
That made it 16-7, and then the craziness would come later with the South Florida Bulls, but Floyd was key, and this was a key miss by Ruffer from 30 yards out. And it just unraveled for Notre Dame from there.
Gary Gray with a key pass interference. And on the next play, Carlo Calabrese trying to stay with Evan Landy. Can't do it. Touchdown. Michael Floyd making plays all over the field. Catches it in the hole between the corner and the safety. Set up a touchdown. Notre Dame down 10. They go for 2. Tommy Rees has played tremendously well. I thought that was poorly thrown. You got to give your guy a chance to come down with it inbounds. But Rees, 17 for 24, 211 yards. But, Dan, 10-point game, a little over 4 minutes left, and Notre Dame only has 1 timeout remaining. They've got to get the football down the field.
And the 2-point conversion miss key, because the Irish are going to need a couple of scores, and they are deep in their own territory, as Tommy Rees, 17-24, the 1 touchdown toss to Floyd, and the 1 interception again, which was not his fault. And before we get play going, let's quickly send it down to Alex Flanagan again. Alex?
Well, Dan, what a wild game it has been, not only with the plays that you guys are speaking out about and what's happened, but just this whole weather delay has been so interesting here. Players, of course, back on the field, the fans starting to trickle back in. The student section almost nearly full here at Notre Dame Stadium. But listen, from the players' perspective, what the teams have been focused on is just trying to keep these guys hydrated and make sure that they can perform in the final minutes of this game. Again, they went and worked on liquids and gave them some nutrition, as Jack Swarbrick told us earlier today. A number of players have been cramping. Remember, it was a very, very hot day, what, about 6-7 hours ago, Dan?
They kicked off about 3:40 local time. We're approaching 6 hours from that time.
Why don't you reset us here, Dan? 2nd down?
2nd down and 6 from their own 13. As the final play was Tommy Rees scrambling out of bounds before the second weather delay. So Notre Dame with 1 timeout.
Remember, they need 2 scores, and it doesn't matter whether it's a field goal or a touchdown first. You got to get on the board and then set up an onside kick.
So back to action we go, and Rees waits and fires, and that is picked off. Jarrell Young. So they wait a long time to go out and turn it over again.
And they worked hard. I thought they had Eifert on a wheel route. But watch, Eifert's going to run the wheel route, but he doesn't go there. He's going to try and force it inside, back across his body, way behind Michael Floyd. And I think that's a case where he wanted Michael Floyd too badly. I thought he had Eifert on the wheel.
5th turnover for Notre Dame on the afternoon and now evening. And just when we were saying that Tommy Rees had pretty much played a really clean game, he turns it over there, and the Bulls set up on the Irish 30 with just more than 4 minutes left in the game with a 10-point lead. Daniels gives it to Murray, and they're going to eat up a lot of clock here. Let's go back to the interception.
Yeah, this last play, Eifert is right here. He's running what I call a wheel route up the sideline, and they get him isolated. This is a big kid, 6'6". He's isolated on a 5'10" corner. If he throws that football up, you got a chance. So I thought, as I stood here watching the play develop, coming out of that whole time frame they had, the setup was to run the wheel route to Eifert, and it was there.
Kelly, who at many times in this opener has been irate, all sorts of reasons to be upset. drop passes, turnovers, 5 tonight, and again, there's the average turnovers per game in 2010.
And as frustrating as this has been, and there's Popek, the left tackle, as frustrating as this has been for Notre Dame, let's take a step back and congratulate South Florida. I think they're a legitimate team in that Big East Conference. Them and West Virginia are going to compete, in my opinion. This could be a BCS team coming out of the Big East Conference. It's a huge win, but as Skip Holtz told us earlier in the week, win or lose, the first goal is still to win the championship. I give these kids a ton of credit coming out and playing here at Notre Dame the way they have.
And they keep it on the ground to Murray again. And that's going to be a loss as Caplon Lewis Moore makes a stop for Notre Dame. Have to be the biggest win image-wise in the history of the young program down in Tampa at the University of South Florida. And Skip Holtz coming back to where he coached, where he graduated, where he played for his father Lou Holtz. All the hype surrounding him coming in, and on the verge of pulling it off.
I have to erect a statue in Tampa for him.
Well, a lightning strike off in the distance as Murray gets it. And for both teams, Mike, I mean, an extremely challenging day of delays. But Brian Kelly will head to Ann Arbor with his squad for the first game under the lights in the history of Michigan football. And speaking of the upcoming schedule, first game in the history under the lights. Notre Dame has broken out new uniforms for it. So much anticipation for it. And it'll be a trip to Ann Arbor with most likely an 0-1 record. That is next week. And then the schedule, not really any breaks in it at all, especially early, Mike.
Yeah, and Michigan State in 2 weeks is the ranked opponent they have to play. Remember, they went 11-2 last year. Mark D'Antonio had a great season. However, I thought that was a little misleading. They got spanked in the bowl game by Bama. Iowa crushed them. But that should be a very competitive game.
And Skip Holtz, his schedule pretty easy. Got Ball State, Florida A&M, UTEP, all at home before they travel to Pitt.
They can be 4-0 right there, right? And if they're 4-0, then they get into their Big East schedule. And the tough thing is 4 of their first 5 Big East games are away.
So on 4th and 11, we've got Theo Riddick back as Justin Brockhouse-Kahn punts it away. And Riddick lets it fall. And South Florida pins Notre Dame at the 1.
Kind of sums it up. South Florida has done everything right today. Their quarterback, P.J. Daniels, did not turn the football over. Clean, efficient game. They ran the ball. They threw it when they had to. Most importantly, they took advantage of all the Notre Dame mistakes.
Skip Holtz, in addition to that game at Notre Dame Stadium where he watched his father coach his last game in 1996, has returned to South Bend. This is the 4th time, where he's been back 4 other times besides that, including renewing his vows on his 10-year wedding anniversary 9 years ago with his wife Jennifer. And so all sorts of emotion and Notre Dame, South Bend connections to Skip Holtz and his family. As a flag comes in, his wife Jennifer had to use an Excel sheet.
Defense number 36. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Sam Barrington with a penalty. His wife Jennifer had to use an Excel sheet to keep track of 78 tickets that they had for this game.
And how about the story when she broke back into our room in Tampa?
There she is.
And there she is. And he couldn't remember how many times he'd been back. And she's like, are you kidding me? We renewed our vows.
Reese fumbles it. Ball is loose. He recovers it. Claude Davis, the redshirt senior, was down there for the Bulls defense.
No-win situation. Ball in the end zone. You've got to feel pressure, step up inside it. Claude Davis, the undersized defensive end, like a lot of 3 of the 4 defensive ends for them are undersized, quick pass rushers that are tough kids and stout at the point of attack.
Reese complete, and that was the gist. The big hitter just popping T.J. Jones with a good catch. Amazing that he was able to hang on, gain of 23.
I have it in my notes that John Legist is a thug. And when I say thug, please understand, I mean that in the most complimentary way. He makes big hits every game. Love the way he plays.
1st and 10 from the 25. Notre Dame out of timeouts, incomplete to Eifert. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Clock stops, 1:33 left. So if you're Brian Kelly and you're going to Ann Arbor, Michigan, Tommy Reese is your guy still?
Tommy Reese would be my guy. I mean, his numbers today, 17 out of 25, 211 yards. 2 interceptions, yes, one of them not his fault. But he gave you a spark, and I think you got to start him next week.
That ball is complete to T.J. Jones, and a little less than 6 hours ago, it looked like Notre Dame was going to roll in this game. Dane Chris, the starter, just took him down all the way to the goal line before the fumble by Jonas Gray, and it was Kayvon Webster who took it back 96 yards on a fumble return for a touchdown, and the longest by an opponent in Notre Dame history. The old record, 94 yards, set by Leroy Keys in 1966, and that just sent things the other direction. That is T.J. Jones, who hung on to the catch, being helped up on 3rd down. And that's a 1st down to Eifert. And Eifert brought down by Quentin Washington. 1:20 left. But all the anticipation and all the hopes, they always are anticipating a season opener in Notre Dame, but coming in ranked 16th in the country, Mike, the highest preseason ranking that the Irish have had in 5 years. And then South Florida about to throw a big bucket of water on all of that in the opener.
Let's put things in perspective, though, okay? As bad as it is, and that's as bad as I thought they could play. In my wildest imagination, I didn't think they could play this badly. This is still a very talented team, and if you're Brian Kelly, you've got to you've got to measure your words after this game. And the one thing they did last year, no matter how good or bad, was they preached the same thing. We're going to get better each and every day, and I think they've got to stay the course once again.
2nd and 3, ball on the 46. Pressure by Reese, and Eifert's able to hang on for another 1st down. Clock stopped at a minute left as Reese hurries him up to the line after a gain of 19.
Yeah, heck of a catch there.
Eifert, big play, tight end. More than half his receptions last year just had huge numbers on them. Reese to the air again, and he's got Riddick. Or does he? Riddick had it and dropped it.
I don't know how many drops today for Riddick. You know, the punt was a key play. He's had 2 or 3 drops. He had one across the middle earlier that hit him perfectly in the hands. That's got to be caught every single time. So atypically for Theo Riddick, one of the guys I highlighted in pregame as a big play receiver, going to have to take a close look at himself and come back and work real hard next week.
So 2nd down and 10. Bulls got across maybe prematurely there. That was Claude Davis, number 90.
Offside, defense number 90, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Claude Davis is going to jump right here. He goes on the head bob of the center, Braxton Cave, instead of on the football.
2nd year for Davis at USF after transferring from Mississippi Community College. And on 2nd down and 5, 42 seconds left. Reese steps up, fires across the middle, another 1st down, complete to Eifert. Another big gain by the tight end.
Tommy Reese was crushed.
And another flag is down.
Still down. Probably a late hit here.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Reese was flat on his back before he was just helped up.
Big hit taken by Tommy Reese in the pocket, delivers it to Eifert. Okay, ball is out right now, and that's a big hit. It looked like Lattimore, the linebacker, came in late. From behind, he gets hit. Lattimore's up front. Good call. Reese still in the game.
So 15-yard gain on the pass, another 8 on the penalty. Half the distance to the goal they go. First and goal. Clock running 28 seconds. Notre Dame out of timeouts. Down by 10. Needs 2 scores.
Got to be
Reese
in the end zone.
to the end zone. And it's who other than Floyd for the score. With 21 seconds left. Floyd with his second touchdown catch of the game.
Floyd, the widest man on the field. They're going to clear it so he can run a slant, get him out of the way, and then bang, hit the slant right in behind it. Bang, give him room to work, put it on that big body, easy touchdown.
Ruffer in to attempt the extra point to get the Irish within 3.
Good hold, high snap.
It is good. USF 23, Notre Dame 20.
So Michael Floyd runs his career touchdown reception total to 30.
Good throw. Big body. Puts himself between the ball and the corner. And now we've got a 3-point game. 21 seconds left, and it's time for the Good Hands team.
Career high 12 receptions tonight for Floyd, totaling 154 yards. And is possible, but it's not likely with 21 seconds left and no timeouts.
Football, it's not round, and it takes these funny bounces, and that's what they have to hope for on this onside kick. Michael Floyd is out on the field with the kickoff team.
So you know it's coming. Skip Holtz directing his team out there. And David Ruffer is going to be the onside kick specialist here for Notre Dame.
He's a 5th-year guy with more experience. I just circled Michael Floyd down at the bottom. So take a look who's here. Floyd, Blanton, Harrison Smith is here. They've got nothing but their best football players. And then over on the other side, correspondingly for South Florida, is right here. That's where they're expecting it to come. Big hop.
Takes a big hop, but it's recovered by the Bulls.
Wow, they had a chance to make a play.
That was Lindsey Lamar who got on it. The ball popped up just like they needed it, but Lamar was there to scoop it.
That was the big hop you're looking for right there. It's up in the air. Floyd, instead of elevating for it, kind of waited for it to come down. Watch Michael Floyd, the end guy. Okay, when it pops in the air, I think he's got a chance to go up and try and get it instead of waiting for it to come to him. You see that?
Yeah, go up like you're getting a pass.
And it was exactly,
like
it was a little bit behind him, so he was sliding into it. But if you know what I'm saying, he's just got to elevate and keep that ball alive somehow.
It was a textbook onside kick by Ruffer, but the Bulls have it, and they're going to run out the clock.
Wow. Congratulations to the Bulls of South Florida. They played their tails off today and deserve to win the game.
B.J. Daniels, 18 of 30, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. And Skip Holtz, in his return to South Bend, beats Notre Dame, the 16th ranked Fighting Irish, 23-20. Let's go down to Alex Flanagan with a happy Bulls coach.
Well, Coach, a crazy day here, a wild day, a 6-hour game almost. Kind of walk me through just the day in terms of that.
Well, just long. I mean, with more or less, we had a 2-hour halftime break, I think it was, and then to come back and maintain our focus and come back and finish the game. And Notre Dame is a great team, and I think they've got some phenomenal talent on that team. When I look at Michael Floyd, I mean, he's special. He's really special, and I was really proud of the way that our team stayed focused with what they had to do. We came over here, we were able to capitalize on a couple of turnovers that we got early, and just really proud of these guys. Big step for our program.
This is a homecoming of sorts for you. You played here, you coached here. What does this feel like to win here as a head coach for an opposing team?
I don't know if all that's hit me yet. Notre Dame's a special place, and it was great to come back, and I got a lot of great memories here as a coach and a player, and I think it's a special place, and I know this football team will be good, and they'll continue on, but it was great to come back. All of it hasn't sank in yet.
Your dad, Lou Holtz,
Yes.
was right. He went out on a limb picking against Notre Dame for the first time.
Well, you know what? To Mark May, it serves you right.
Thank you, Coach.
Mark, that's Lou's cohort in the studio. So
That's good stuff.
Skip Holtz wins it 23-20. Let's go to our Notre Dame studio in New York. We'll return a little bit later on with some other thoughts.
Welcome to the Notre Dame football postgame on Versus.